Hello, everyone. Today we are having the second episode about the corruption of the justice system in Germany and the injustice. Um, Today we have a very simple post on Facebook, and it's about a guy who is trying to collect the negative sayings by judges in Germany in any trial or court meeting. And I have took his post, some screenshots for his post, and wanted to share with you. And even he's collecting from comments of other people such saying things by judges. So those are in Germany, and as you can see, there are comments which are saying also other sayings are which are negative and shows like really corruption and injustice and that the judges don't give uh, shit about anything and they think they are above all. They can do whatever the hell they want, whether it's right or wrong, you know. So I have collected this in a text and I would like to translate them with you to have a look. So let's go to DeepL here. And the text is here. I'll try to explain as much as I can too. Here is the text. So let's take the first part. You already collected what he has been through and other comments from others. Here he says, I'm looking for negative judge statements. So here's one. In my courtroom, I do what I want and decide for myself. And another one, he says, I don't care about judgments from the Federal Constitutional Court. And so it's about the Constitution, you know, he doesn't care. I don't know what BGH is referring to. H means Bundesgerichtshof. So I guess it's also a higher court, you know. Let's see here. The Federal Supreme Court, German Federal Court of Justice. So he doesn't care. That's said by a judge. Another one, he's saying what comes in the record is what I decide. And this is very important and real, honestly. This one, my God. So imagine in the court, the judge says something or someone says something, and the judge decides. And it's true because recently there is something called nicht öffentliche, which means like it's not open court procedure. So and so it's like secretive. It's you cannot record what is happening, and then the judge decides to say to the writer what he should write. You know, it's it's horrible. It's really horrible. I really want to find it. Yeah, this is it. You can search for it. It's this is the word for it, and yeah, so it's not open. And actually, in most of the cases, you don't find someone next to the judge writing what he's saying, and the judge in the end decide what has been done. So literally, one lawyer can say something and the judge will not mention it because it fits him in the way he wants to show in what is written in the end in the court decision. And I have seen it with my own eyes. I have seen this situation where a lawyer asks for something, and then because the judge is taking the other side, he doesn't even bring it up. And I think some it will be leaked later, where you can see it said clearly in some record, which is recorded secretively, like in secret, and the judge doesn't bring it up in their papers after that. So what else? Yeah, here. I don't care what your daughter says or wants. I alone decide. Like really. And this is, well, again, we know that the major thing is about how they always take the mother side, and they always screw fathers no matter what the mother does wrong, whatever. And this is what it refers to when the judge is saying, "I don't care what your daughter says or wants, I alone decide." It's because maybe the daughter says, "Hey, I don't want to live with my mother. My mother is abusive, or my mother is drinking alcohol, or whatever." They don't care. They just decide the mother always keeps the kids, and the father doesn't get to see them or doesn't get to have them living with him or anything. Okay, here's another one, even worse. You will now repeat after me, or the contact will be suspended. Wow, he's forcing the father, usually, or the person in the court, um, to repeat what the judge says after him, or he will make him not be able to see his children again. Can you imagine that? And now the judge is threatening the father, usually the father, and he says, "Well, in the best interest of the child, withdraw your request. It's been so long." Like, if the father is trying to have a request to have access to his kids or see them, or that they live with them or anything, he just says, "Oh, it's better for the kids that you don't even ask for that." Here's another one. I don't care if the KM means Kindsmutter, which is like the mother of the children or the child, and or the child mother uses drugs. Literally, he doesn't care. The judge or she doesn't care that the mother is using drugs. The children stay with the mother. This they are now quite as wrong translation. It's actually you should you should be quiet now. Quiet now, actually. So it's the right translation is quiet now. Um, Here, isn't yet true. Or so you be quiet now, otherwise you will pay 1,000 euro fine. Like the father or the person in the court is not allowed to even talk or express himself or complain. And this is says what goes in the protocol. We still determine, like, they make their own protocol, they make their own system, you know. Anyway, you can always read it in German and try to find it. Oh my God. So this is even a threat by a judge to um, take back their request, or you will have to pay the lawyer's fees of the other side. Imagine. And this one, it says the mother's assets are irrelevant. Like, could be the mother is owning a lot of money or inherited a lot of money, and she all have thousands or millions, and in the end, the father, even if he's making little bit of money, he has to pay a lot of monthly amount of money for the children. Like, I don't know, is it alimony? And this one, so this is saying that the Vixel model, which is like the system is supposed to happen, which almost never happens in Germany, where the mother has the children for half the time and the father has the children for half the time, so 2 weeks by the father, 2 weeks by the mother. They say the parents has to agree with each other, uh, and if it's not, if the relationship between them is bad, you will not get this system, and the higher court will not agree to it anyway, that you have your children half the time, as a father. Usually the father, this is what happens to the father. So if the mother decides at any minute that, oh no, I have a bad relationship with the father, I don't want him to have the kids, then the court will always follow what the mother says. And in reality, they do that because if it's shared half time, the money is shared. The father will not have to pay the mother money every month, a big amount of money, you know. So most of mothers will not agree to it because they want to take money without doing any work most of the time. And here's another one. Wow. Is the judge threatening the father? He's saying, I will ask you now one more time. Are you like giving up your custody to your children? Yes or no? Like, really, he's threatening him. He's telling, I'm asking you one more time. Do you give it for voluntarily? Like, you give it up, yes or no? And this is like the guy who's a writer of the post is asking people to add their comments. So let's see what else do they have here. Here's a few more. I'll take them. And here. So this it was already said. And this is the same. Uh-huh. Those two we already mentioned. This is with the name of the judge, from which Ahmed Oberland. So anyway, he's saying, "Good day, I am the judge, and you are losing today the three other what like the three well what you want from the two cases or all the three cases. So the father, for example, had two court was in the court two times, and he got little bit of rights, and he wanted like more rights or equality or anything. So he went to the higher court for the third time, after going to the normal family court one or two times. And what happened is the judge directly, once he enter and he says he's saying he decides this. He decides directly that the father is losing everything he got in the course before. You know. Okay. Here is another judge. What I said at the time, that time doesn't matter. I just changed my mind. That's a judge. Like it's a game. The judge says something one time, and in another time he changes his mind, and he's saying like it's normal. Screws people's future and screws destroying families and fathers mentally and children, and doesn't care. Wow. This is, if you do not withdraw your request to make a fine on the mother, I will make a fine on you. Uh, and that he is sure that the 500 euros is better to be given to the son, uh, to the son. Hmm. This is another one. The judge is saying 8 months with the mother abroad are vacations. So if the mother takes the child 8 months, it's even without the agreeing of the father, it's a vacation. But if the father take him 2 weeks abroad, just 2 weeks, it's kidnapping. Okay, another one. Here we are close. The last two. It is I I don't care if the child express his wish to live with the father. I will decide that. And by that, the even the your custody, the shared custody between the father and mother is taken from the father. Because clearly, I mean, the guy is speaking by himself, because clearly he, like the father, manipulated the child, even though this was under supervision. So the father was seeing his child in a coffee shop under supervision, and still the judge decided that he manipulated the child. In that time, he sees his son. Man, okay. This is another case, and these are 6 points by the same guy. He's saying that the judge said new evidence would only further complicate and prolong the process, and that's not in the interest of the process. So if there are evidence, they will not use it in the court. They will just be ignored. Wow. So this is telling the lawyer that, as a father, that instead of giving, like asking the country, the state, to pay for the expenses of the lawyer, he should, the father, find another way to make money, get another job. It will not hurt anyone, and then they should be able to afford a lawyer from their own pocket. Uh, it's all on the state. The state is taking always the side of the mother and destroying the father and everything. So what do you expect? And taking a lot of money from the father anyway to pay the mothers every month for the children. I don't know this. Uh-huh. Here's one. I mean, I didn't get number three actually, but here's one for he's saying, I didn't ask your lawyer, I asked you. So it means that the lawyer shouldn't answer and that person should himself answer, even though maybe the person doesn't want to answer because maybe the question is manipulative or something, and he wants the lawyer to answer the right answer. And then here's the judge. He's saying, you will learn today that law is not always fair. And then another one is saying, as a judge, I don't have to. As a judge, I can. And now I don't want to. Just thick mentality, of power. It's a really power abuse and authority abuse. And that's it, guys. Stay with us, follow us, and share your stories and opinions and everything. Thank you for listening and watching.